رئيس جمهورية جنوب أفريقيا ورئيس تجمع البريكس أصحاب الفخامة رؤساء دول تجمع البريكس.
The President of South Africa, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me pleasure to participate today in this meeting that is held within the framework of BRICS Plus under the title BRICS and Africa. Partnership for accelerated growth, sustainable development, and inclusive multilateral action. Let me, at the outset of my speech, to extend thanks to the President of the Republic of South Africa for hosting this important meeting at this exceptional moment the whole world is going through, that witnesses unprecedented complications whose repercussions are reflected on the economies of developing countries. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome the step endorsed by BRICS today regarding expanding its membership, and I'm confident that it would contribute to making this bloc more effective and more capable of expressing its visions on the international level. Egypt was keen during the previous years to document and strengthen its relations with BRICS through participating in the different sessions held within the framework of Formula BRICS Plus, and it joined also the new development bank in 2021, and we're looking forward to making Egypt an effective, influential member in BRICS to contribute to its efforts aiming at finding practical solutions to be applied to face challenges from which our countries are suffering, that needs intensifying our cooperation within the framework of South-South cooperation. Let me review Egypt's vision regarding the different fields that we would like to focus on within the framework of the cooperation between BRICS and the developing countries in this period. They are the following. First, the necessity of intensifying joint efforts for dealing with one of the important risks facing our developing countries today. This is the food crisis and its impact, through coordination and intensifying efforts within the framework of multilateral, regional and international efforts to meet the needs of developing countries. In addition to developing agriculture and food processing, improving the infrastructure in rural areas, as well as agricultural technology transfer and the new sustainable modern irrigation systems. Egypt is ready, in cooperation with the international community, to host an international hub for storing and supplying grains to help face the international food crisis. Secondly, improving the economic structure and the international financial structure to make it more equitable and responsive to the needs of the developing countries, including the middle income countries, and developing mechanisms to reduce the external debts burden through writing off debts or swapping or soft payments through governing the international financial system. We're looking forward to your support to what we launched recently with African countries, the initiative under the title The Alliance of Debts for Sustainable Development, with the objective of creating a joint framework for organize the sustainable debts transactions, especially for middle income countries, including debt swap in developing countries and developing projects to support the equal deals, as well as trade exchange in local currency between the countries of BRICS and developing countries, and also between African countries. Thirdly, the importance of building on the results of COP27 outcomes hosted by Egypt in 2022 and enhancing the role of multilateral development banks and the international financing institutions to finance climate action, and work on implementing the outcomes of Sharm el-Sheikh conference, and launching a fund to support developing countries in confronting the loss and damage, and support the fair transition to renewable and clean energy. In this context, we commend the importance of achieving balance between meeting the needs of our countries of energy and our commitments towards facing the international climate crisis. Fourth, announcing the principles of the UN Charter and implementing the international laws without the intervention in the internal affairs of the countries, and depending on international multilateral arenas and collective action to face the joint challenges, and depend on the policies of easing tension, dialogue and negotiations to come up with peaceful solutions for the conflicts, especially the peace, stability and security is a precondition to achieve development. Fifth, enhancing cooperation between BRICS and Africa to achieve common objectives to unleash the untapped potentials in the African countries, and Egypt's vision in this context within its presidency of the steering committee for the heads of NEPAD to give momentum to trade integration between countries and accelerate implementing Development Agenda 2063 for Africa, as well as the objectives of the free trade agreement, making use of the Egyptian potentials in the field of energy, telecommunications, industrialization, food security and infrastructure, with the participation of the private sector and continuous consultations with the African countries. In addition to mobilizing the financial resources for the priority fields for the countries in Africa through adopting the proposal of NEPAD to have the resources mobilizing task force for Africa. Finally, Egypt is looking forward to enhancing cooperation and continuing joint action with BRICS countries in different fields at the bilateral and multilateral levels, and Egypt welcomes all initiatives and projects aiming at achieving joint interests and developing a sustainable partnership. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I'd like to now invite His Excellency Mr. Kashim Shettima.
To invite Mr. Kashu Shettima, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to deliver his speech.
Your Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa,
صاحب الفخامة سيريل رامافوسا رئيس جنوب أفريقيا ورئيس بريكس السادة الفخامة رؤساء الدول والحكومات في الجنوب الأرضية السادة والسيدات.
gathered here for the third BRICS Africa outreach and BRICS Plus dialogue alongside the 15th BRICS Summit. I convey warm greetings from His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria. Regrettably, due to pressing official matters at home, he couldn't join us today. President Tinubu, on behalf of the government and people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, extends our deepest gratitude to the government and people of the Republic of South Africa for convening the 15th BRICS Summit and bringing together stakeholders
عقد هذا المنتدى وجمع أصحاب المصلحة من كل العالم.
We are also witnesses to the force warm
نحن شهداء على عفوة الاستقبال، ونحن أنا ووفدي ممتنون لكم على استضافتنا. إن موضوع هذا المنتدى بريكس وإفريقيا، تعزيز النمو والتنمية المستدامة والتعددية القطبية الشاملة، وهذا ما يوجه مسار العالم. وبموجب تحقيق أو إدراكنا أن أهمية التعددية القطبية يعتمد على العلاقات المتعددة. إن التجربة الماضية وتجاربنا الماضية أكدت أن بلداننا أصبحت هشة، وأؤكد لكم أن نيجيريا ملتزمة بضرورة إعادة تشكيل المسرح الدولي، المساهمة في هذا التشكيل الدولي، خاصة في المال والبيئة، تغيير البيئة، وكذلك جسر الفجوة الرقمية، وكذلك إرفاع الديون، وكذلك قضايا الديون، وكذلك التعافي من الجائحة، وكذلك الشمول